Good morning, students, and welcome to the chemistry lecture, paper number 15. Here, today, you are going to learn the first unit of this paper, that is the phase equilibria. And in this phase equilibria, the subpoints are introduction of the phase equilibria, then the second point gives phase rule equation and explanation of the terms involved in the equation. Then the phase diagram. Next point, that is true and metastable equilibria. Then one component systems, and for your study, for your syllabus, there are two systems, water system, sulfur system with explanation for polymorphism. Then the next point, that is two component systems, and in the two component system there is eutectic system, for example silver lead system, that is the desilverization of lead. Freezing mixture, for example Ki water system. Then formation of compound with congruent melting point, for example FeCl3 and water. And the last point of this unit, that is the three component solid liquid system and the development of a triangular phase diagram. And for your study, there is a acetic acid chloroform water system. These are the subpoints that are included in the study of phase equilibria. Here at first, see, the homogeneous means any system that contains a single phase. Here, homogeneous system means any system that is it contains a single phase. Suppose, for example, here it is a chemical gases reaction, and here En2 reacts with H2 to form NH3. That means in this equation there are reactants are in a gaseous state as well as product it is in a gaseous state. So such a system there exists a single phase are called as homogeneous chemical equilibrium or simply a homogeneous system. Remember, a homogeneous system, that means any system containing a single phase. Then heterogeneous system. Here calcium carbonate, when it is decomposed, it produces calcium oxide and CO2 gas. And here, calcium carbonate, it is in a solid state. Again, calcium oxide, it is also in a solid state, while CO2, it is in a gaseous state. As this contains a three chemical constituents, two are in a solid state and one it is in a gaseous state. Such systems are called as heterogeneous systems. And understand, heterogeneous means any system consisting more than three phases or more than two phases. Any system which contains more than two phases. Such systems are called as heterogeneous system. Then heterogeneous physical equilibrium. That means solid phase it is in equilibrium with liquid phase. Liquid phase it is in equilibrium with vapor, and solid it is in equilibrium with vapor. All of you know this heterogeneous physical equilibria, that means in a two phases there exists a equilibrium. All of you know, in the melting of solid, at the melting point of solid, that solid it will get converted into liquid. That means there is a equilibrium between a solid and a liquid, and such processes we call as a melting of a solid. Then in the vaporization process, any liquid it get converted into gas or vapor, and at the boiling point of the liquid there arises or there establishes a equilibrium between liquid and its vapor. That phenomenon is vaporization. Then the sublimation phenomenon, that is the conversion of solid into vapor. That phenomenon it is the sublimation. Here in the study of phase equilibria, here equilibria means it is a plural word. That means there exists more than two equilibriums simultaneously, and equilibrium it is a singular word. That means there is a single equilibrium which exists in a system. Our name of the first unit it is the phase equilibria. At first, phase it is a homogeneous, physically distinct and mechanically separable portion of the system. I will repeat once again. The term phase means it is the homogeneous throughout, physically distinct and mechanically separable portion of the system. It is called as phase. And equilibria, that means more than two phases are in equilibrium. That means heterogeneous system, and again the plural more than two equilibriums are also there. Such a systems are studied conveniently with the help of phase equilibria. Understand? The phase equilibria, that means more than two phases are in equilibrium, and there are more than two or three or four equilibriums. They are studied conveniently with the help of phase rule. And in 1876 the heterogeneous equilibria are conveniently studied with the help of phase rule. And the American scientist Willard Gibbs in 1876 he formulated the Gibbs phase rule. And tomorrow you will learn what is the Gibbs phase rule and the terms involved in the Gibbs phase rule. Okay? At first, all of you are studied the phase. Phase means it is a homogeneous throughout, physically distinct and mechanically separable portion of the system. So, the terms and examples here. First term it is the phase. Phase it is a physically distinct and mechanically separable portion of the system. Then the another word that is components, and here phase it is denoted by letter P, component it is denoted by letter C, and component means it is the minimum number of chemical species by means of which the composition of each phase can be described. Here components it is represented by letter C, and component means it is the minimum number of chemical species by means of which the composition of each phase can be described. Then number of components C, it is calculated by using this formula. Here C, it is equal to number of chemical compounds minus number of chemical and or physical relations existing with them. Then, in case of water system, at the freezing point of water, ice is there, and ice, it is in equilibrium with its water, and water, it is in equilibrium with vapor. That means the water system, it consists of three phases. Three phases of water. Solid phase, it is a ice, water in the form of ice. Liquid phase of water, it is water itself, and the vapor phase, that is gas. Vapor, when water is boiled, water it will get converted into the vapor. And in the water system, there are three phases. There are three phases, and the number of component, here it is only one component. So C, it is equal to 1, and we can calculate the number of degrees of freedom by using the Gibbs phase rule, and this is the use of Gibbs phase rule. Okay, so in detail, we will study what is the Gibbs phase rule. Here, the statement of Gibbs phase rule, it is in a heterogeneous system in equilibrium is not affected by gravity or by electrical and magnetic forces. The number of degree of freedom F of the system is related to the number of components C and the number of phases P existing at the equilibrium. Here, this is the description regarding the Gibbs phase rule. Here, the Gibbs phase rule, it is mathematically expressed as F, it is equal to C minus P plus 2. Here F, it means the number of degrees of freedom, number of degrees of freedom. That means the number of variance or the number of degrees of freedom F. Then the, as already I have told you, this C, it is the number of components present in the system, and it is calculated by the number of chemical constituents. It is the minimum number of chemical constituents, independent chemical constituent. Then this P, it is a number of phases, and this 2, it is a additional variables of temperature and pressure, or it may also be represented as here P plus F. This P, when we put towards left hand side, this equation becomes P plus F, it is equal to C plus 2, and under this condition we can define the phase rule as the sum of number of phases of the system and number of degrees of the freedom. It exceeds the number of components of system by 2. This is another statement of the Gibbs phase rule. I will repeat once again. In general, the Gibbs phase rule, It gives the relationship between degrees of freedom of the system, number of components of the system, and number of phases of the system. Mathematically, it is expressed as F it is equal to C minus P plus 2, where F it is the degrees of freedom, C number of components, then P number of phases in the system. Okay, and when we put this P towards left hand side, the another phase rule equation we have P plus F it is equal to C plus 2. Remember well, this is the mathematical expression of the Gibbs phase rule. Already all of you have learned what is phase. Phase, it is a physically distinct, homogeneous and mechanically separable portion of the system. For example, if you have ethyl alcohol and water, you have taken 5 ml of ethyl alcohol and 5 ml of water in a test tube, and suppose that test tube is well shaken, then that test tube is kept to the test tube stand, and if you observe after few minutes, you see that there is a single phase. That means ethyl alcohol, it is completely miscible with water. That means two liquids, when they are miscible, they constitute a single phase. And opposite of this, if we have two immiscible liquids, suppose for example CCl4 and water, then CCl4 and water, they are immiscible liquids. They cannot mix into each other. And similarly, we have taken CCl4 and water into the test tube. We shaken that test tube and kept at the test tube stand. And while observing, we see that there are two separate layers. That means in the test tube we can see that there are two liquid layers. Here the CCl4 layer and water layer, and these two liquids are separated by a phase boundary, and depending on this we can define any phase as a phase is a homogeneous, physically distinct and mechanically separable portion of the system. Remember that each phase has its phase boundary. Each phase, it has its phase boundary. And a system, that means a CCl4 and water we have taken in a test tube, and that is our under observation. That portion, it is our under observation. And as this system, it contains two phases, two liquid phases, that is the heterogeneous equilibrium. Okay, then again the phase rule, it is defined as the term phase, it is defined as physically distinct, homogeneous and mechanically separable part of a system. Physically distinct, homogeneous and mechanically separable part of a system. For example, a gaseous mixture constitutes a single phase since gases are completely miscible. For example, air. Then the another gas, as already I have told you, two or more liquids which are miscible with one another constitute a single phase, as there is a no bounding surfaces separating the different liquids. For example, water and alcohol, chloroform and benzene constitute a one phase or single phase. Then another example, a system consisting of liquid in equilibrium with its vapor constitute a two phases. For example, water in the form of liquid, when it is heated to its boiling temperature, there is equilibrium between water and vapor. And you know, vapor, it is in a gas state. This is a heterogeneous equilibrium. Then the another term, that is the component of the system, and this number of component of the system is defined as minimum number of independent variable constituents. Minimum number of independent variable constituents which are required to express the composition of each phase in the system. Here, the C, it is the number of component or components here, and it is defined as minimum number of independent variable constituent. The component, it must be minimum number of independent variable constituent which are required to express the composition of each phase in the system. In chemically reactive system, the number of components is given by this equation. Here, C, it is equal to N minus E, where C means number of components or components simply. N, it is the number of chemical species, and E, number of independent equations relating to the concentrations of the species. Here, each independent chemical equilibrium involving the constituents count as one equation. Remember, independent chemical equilibrium involving the constituents count as a one equation. The condition that a solution be electrically neutral also counts as one equation if ions are considered as constituents. Then the examples of one component system, here sulfur system, it consists of four phases, and four phases are here monoclinic sulfur, rhombic sulfur, liquid sulfur and sulfur vapor. As the sulfur system, it consists of component 1, but there are four phases. Then the water system, as this water system, it consists of single component, component number 1, and number of phases are 3. And the another example, salt and water system, that means two component system. Certain salts are capable of existing as a hydrates with different number of water molecules of crystallization. For such a salt water system, these are the two component systems. Therefore, the value of C, it is equal to 2, and the number of phases, they may be 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, depending on the equilibrium. Then the composition of each phase of the hydrates is completely described in terms of the anhydrous salt and water alone. For example, sodium sulfate and water. Then the last term of the phase rule, that is the degree of freedom, and the degree of freedom of the system, again it is the minimum number of independent variable. Remember, degree of freedom is defined as the minimum number of independent variables such as temperature, pressure and concentration, which should be specified in order to define the system completely. Again, I will repeat, the degree of freedom is defined as minimum number of independent variables such as temperature, pressure and concentration, which should be specified in order to define the system completely. For example, here a state of pure gas, a state of pure gas specified by two variables, that is pressure and temperature or pressure and volume. The third variable can be calculated. Hence, for pure gas, the degree of freedom is 2. Remember, for a certain gas, such as gaseous system, for specifying the gaseous system completely, we can fix its pressure and temperature or pressure and volume. So, to fix a gaseous system, we have to mention its two variables. Therefore, the degree of freedom here it is equal to 2. Then here in this case, this equilibrium here H2O in a liquid state, it is in equilibrium with water in a gaseous state. That means here when there is an equilibrium in between liquid and its vapor, to mention, to specify such a system, we can fix only one variable and that is the temperature. So, the degree of freedom of this system, it is 1 and such systems are called as monovariant system or univariant system. Then the another example, if we have a gaseous mixture, say that mixture contains N2 gas, O2 gas is completely defined when three variables we have to fix. A mixture of gases. Suppose our system it contains a mixture of more gases. To specify such a system, we require the three degrees of freedom. That means we have to fix their temperature, their pressure as well as their compositions. So a gaseous mixture, this system it has a degree of freedom F it is equal to 3 and such system is called as trivariant system. Depending on the value of F, we can have monovariant system, trivariant system, bivariant system or univariant system or invariant system. That means when here when there exists a equilibrium between solid, liquid and gas. Here in this system we have no freedom to fix either temperature, pressure or volume or concentration of the system. That is, we do not have a freedom to fix either pressure, temperature or concentration or composition. That means the degree of freedom is 0 and such systems are called as invariant system or non-variant system. The understand, the greater the number of components in a system, greater is the degree of freedom for a given number of phases. Then greater the number of phases, the smaller is the number of degrees of freedom, and the number of phases is the maximum. The number of degrees of freedom, it is equal to 0 for a given number of components. Then remember, while studying the one component systems, two component systems and three component systems, you will understand how the in case of one component system, three phases are in equilibrium. In case of two component systems, four phases are in equilibrium. And in case of three component system, there exists five phases. So today you have learned the Gibbs phase rule, its statement and the terms involved in it. Okay, so study well and get understand properly what is the Gibbs phase rule. We see later on the next point.